Chords are very important for all types of guitar playing. Whether you're playing Wonderwall or Villalobos, all styles of guitar have to deal with chords. And yet there's nothing worse than doing this in a performance. So in today's video, we're going to look at a few basic ideas to make chord playing simpler and smoother. We're going to start out with some simple tips, but stick around to the end because I think there might be something for everyone. First of all, let's talk about what chords are. A chord is when we play multiple notes at the same time. And people often make the mistake of thinking playing chords is like playing one big sound and then playing another big sound. But actually, between these chords we have something called voice leading. Let's take these two chords, G and C. Each note in the first chord has a destination to arrive at in the second chord. B rises to C, G stays the same, D rises to E, and G falls to C. If you want to find out more about this 5-1 relationship, you can check out my video, Why Does Music Only Have 12 Notes? But anyway, we need to approach chord playing with the same idea as if we were playing lots of melodies at the same time. If we were playing them as melodies, they'd be smooth, so let's do the same with chords. The first chords we're going to look at are C and A minor. Now, between these two chords, we actually have some notes in common. C and E are notes found in both chords. So seeing as the notes are going to stay the same, let's keep the fingers in the same place. There's no need to take your fingers off and start again like this. We can just move the fingers that need to be moved. Let's now look at another example, and we're going to take the chords C and G. Now we do have a note in common between these two chords, the note of G, but this is an open string, so we don't need to worry so much about what we've just done. However, we do have a big jump in the finger position of the two chords. So in order to get a smooth transition between these chords, we need to first visualize each one and become familiar with how it looks and also how it feels under the fingers. We want to try and create an image in our mind of what these chords actually look like, and after a while, our fingers will naturally go there. So when we transition between these two chords, we want to make sure that it's only one movement. It's very easy to think that we stop playing one chord, start a new one, but actually it's one movement that smoothly transitions between both chords. For the final example, we're going to use the guitar to help us find the chords. Let's say we're moving between these two chords. What we can do is slide our fourth finger along the string, and not only will this mean that we have less of a movement to do, but it will also act as a guide and a reference for our hand position on the next chord. Now these basic technical ideas work for pretty much every example, but I want to speak a little bit about the mentality of actually doing this within a performance. It's very tempting when you have a very big shift or you have to find a very difficult chord to actually tense up and try too hard because you're worried that your fingers aren't going to find the chord. So what I found to be the best advice is to actually relax even more in those times where you're a bit worried about what your fingers are doing. You just have to trust that you've done the work and that your fingers will just find their way there. If it's not happening, go back and look at some of the ideas we've just spoken about. But in a performance, you really need to relax as much as possible in the more difficult parts of the piece. You can give it a go now. You can think of the most difficult chord shift you can think of and have a go trying to find it as quickly as possible, tensing up, really worrying that you're not going to get the fingers there. And then have a few goes just being really relaxed and just trusting that the fingers will find their way there. I think you'll be surprised, and actually it works really well when you just trust what your fingers are capable of doing. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe and leave a comment down below.